All right, welcome back, everyone. My name is Eric Forensic. It is June 2022. We're at Island Drafting and Technical Institute. We're in CAD 1B course. And today we are going to draw the ratchet, which basically looks like a saw blade. So at first, it might look very intimidating. You don't even know where to start, but I'm going to show you how to break it down into its basic components and put it together pretty fast. With these drawings, you're going to want to read the top directions. Start a new drawing called ratchet. Keep the default units set to decimal units, but change the number of decimal places past the 0 from 4 to 2. So you want to type units at the command line. So right up here, this is the drawings unit dialog box. We're in decimal. Right now we have 4 places past the 0. It told us to change to 2 places past the 0. Keep all the remaining default unit values. No special limits need to be set for the drawing. Keep the drawing with the center of the 1 radius arc at absolute coordinate 6, 4.5. Do not add any dimensions to the drawing. All right, so let's begin with the circle. And I'm going to go to the object layer. So to make the current layer object, you can drop this down, pick on the word object, and now that's the current layer. What's ever up there is the current layer. I'm going to pick the circle command. At the command line, it asks me to specify the center point for the circle. The direction said the center point is 6, 4.5. Enter. All right, so now it has a yellow line coming from where the center is. And if I just want to drag out a circle, any size, I can just click the screen and drop the circle. But I want to make the circle a radius of 1. So at the command line, it's asking me to specify the radius of the circle. So I have that. So I type 1, enter, and there it is. So after I put that circle, I can put the center line. So let me go to the center line layer, drop this down, click on center, pick the circle command, find the center of this circle right here, go with a radius of 3. Now that we have that set up, this is a cool trick. Make objects layer current. So if you click on this button, you can pick an object on the screen and whatever layer it's on, that becomes the current layer. Put a circle up here, find the quadrant, and the diameter is 1. Make current. What I'm going to do is draw a line from the center of the circle. I'm going to just go straight up. You want to be careful, these green guys, these are called object snaps. They're your friends and your worst enemies at the same time. So what I usually do is just try to fly past everything so I don't see any of them come out. When you're drawing a line that you can trim later or extend or whatever. So now what I want to do is rotate this, pick the line, hit enter, pick where I want to spin it from, right at this endpoint. And I want to keep the original line, but I want to make a copy of it. So I can tick copy. And then how far? I want to go 28 degrees. And now I can do that same process again. So it was rotate, select the line, hit enter, pick where I want to spin it from, right here. I want to make a copy of it, C, enter, and I want to go 34 degrees. Now I'm going to make current this object layer again. Now I created these intersections with the circle and these lines. So right here, find that intersection. And I'm going to put a circle with a diameter of 0.5. Yes. I learned at Island Drafting and Technical Institute. Yeah, there's definitely a chapter too. There's definitely a chapter as well. But yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'll find it for you. Now I'm going to pick the circle command, pick this, hit enter. Now I'm in very good shape here to finish up these arcs. What you could do, you can leave these red lines on, or you can freeze them by clicking this snowflake button up here and then picking on the red layer. And you didn't erase them, but you froze them, so they're out of our way for a second. So now I'm going to pick the circle command. Actually, I needed those. I'm sorry. Let me bring those back. So what you could do is hit the sunshine right here, Thor. Because what I want to do is pick the circle command from the center and then go to that intersection. Now you see where the green object snap is? It doesn't look like the circle is going up to that point, but the object's going to go where the green guy is when you click the button. So just be mindful of that. I want to find that intersection too. So you can't always look at what exactly it looks like. Yep. So at this point, I'm going to freeze these. And I'm going to trim. Knife, knife, enter. Goodbye, goodbye. Trim again. Knife, knife, enter. Goodbye, goodbye. Now I'm going to join these together so that one item. All right, so you know it went well when it can all connect like that. Sometimes if there's a slight overlap, they're not going to join together well. There's symmetry in this, so we can use the mirror command. So mirror, pick the mirror command, pick this object, hit enter. Pick any point along this axis. So I can pick the center of the circle, this quadrant up here, this center, doesn't matter. And then just go straight up or down. And it doesn't matter how far or long. And you see a preview of where the other object's going to go. Once you like that, click the button. And then at the command line, it's going to ask you, do you want to erase the source objects? By default, it's no. You want to keep the original and make a copy. So I'm going to hit enter. So I got both of those. I'm going to do it a lot faster this time. Just grab these three, enter, find the center point, done. So now, if you want to watch that again, rewind the video. Now, right here, I need a diameter of 8.5 on the outside. Then I can draw a line straight out from the middle. Then I can rotate that. So here's how you rotate. You could type RO at the command line, or you can pick the rotate button here. Pick the object you want to rotate. I want to rotate this line. Enter, hit the enter button. I want to spin it from this point right here. So basically that means I grabbed it from there, and that's where I'm spinning it around from, I'm rotating it from. I want to keep that original line, but I want to make a copy with the rotation. So built into the rotate command is the copy option. So I'm going to say C for copy, enter. And I'm going to spin this 20 degrees. Once I have that, I pick the line command, go from this intersection or quadrant right here, and then go to this line and look for the perpendicular object snap. Once you see the perpendicular one, click it. Then you can trim. You can really throw this out and throw this out. You just need that little piece right there. There's 18 teeth. So I'm going to pick the polar array, pick up these two pieces, enter, find the center point right here, and it automatically throws 6 of them out, but I need more than that. So up here, these are the different options. So instead of 6, I'm going to change this to 18. Just click in another box to make it register. Doesn't matter which box. Yes. Yeah, if you're going to enter into the drafting field, you got to be accurate. Yep. It says items. Yeah. I'll repeat that step. Okay, so you got this piece right here. Pick the array button. Actually, the polar array. Make sure you're picking the polar array button. Pick the objects you want to array, which is these 2 items. Enter. Pick the center of the circle. And now it automatically does 6. See the 6 in the items box? So you can change that to 18. So I'm going to put 18. But I noticed, like, even after I hit enter, it doesn't register. So what I've learned over my eons of doing this, I just click another box and then it registers. It doesn't matter which other box you click. Make sure that this button, this associative, is unchecked. It's not blued out. It's not like that. It's like this. This one right here, make sure that's unchecked. And then close the array. Just in general, it's better. If you keep that on, the array will stay attached even after you get out of the command, which is good if you want to adjust it later on. I know I'm not adjusting it later on. I'm done with this after 5 minutes from now. But if you're working on something that might change in the future, you might keep it on. We'll talk about that in depth on another day. Now, last thing I got to do is this keyway at the bottom. So this can get a little tricky, but what the best way I find to do this is use the Polyline command. Don't start anywhere in particular, but just start away from everything. So I'm going to start inside the circle here. Pick on the screen, hit the F8 button to go straight. I'm going to push down 0.12, push over 0.25, and push up 0.12. So now I got the keyway. Now I got to get it centered here. So, let me just put it over there. Perfect. Alrighty. Not at all. There's a big gap right there. That was a mess. You can watch the video again and watch it, but well, I'm going to show you how to really do it. The way to really do it is move, select the object, enter. Now you want to pick it up right from this midpoint right here. So now you're holding it from there and you see a little shadow of where it was. And then I want to drop it off right on this quadrant. So what happened is I know it's perfectly centered on the quadrant. And what I also did was create these intersections, this one and this one. I only need one, but so what do? So now I'm going to do the move command again, select the keyway again, enter, pick it up from the end point, and then drop it off to that intersection. So I know it's perfectly even on both sides. And the way I know that is if I trim it out, I could trim out that middle of that circle. What I'm going to want to do is make sure I can join that keyway with the circle. So I'm type J for join and put this together. And then I want to join the outside too. So I'm going to type J again. And then you can really just sweep over the whole object. And the outside is all put together like one piece. So now we're going to look at the questions that are tied to this drawing. The total length of arc A is, so arc A is right here. It's not this whole object, but just this piece right here. So the way you could do it, you can explode this, or you could simply copy the item over, then explode it. So what does it, when you explode it, it just breaks it up into 4 separate objects instead of this one object. And then when I click on this, if I have my quick properties box set up, it has arc length on here, 1.93. So letter B. If you don't have that option for arc length, you say, I have my quick properties out, but I don't see arc length. You didn't set this up yet. So how do you customize this? See where my cursor is on this gray bar? Once my cursor is on there, I can right click, customize. Then in the middle, it's highlighting arc. So we're in the arc one because these are all the different kind of objects that are in AutoCAD. But right now we're dealing with the arc one. And then this is what happens when the quick properties box pops out. It tells me the color, the layer, the line type scale, center X, center Y. So by default, it doesn't have all these. Along the way, I picked arc length. So if you didn't pick that yet, just click this right here, and then you're good to go. Hit apply, hit OK. Now, anytime you use AutoCAD on this computer, it will be ready for you. So if you use a computer at work or home or something else, you might have to set that up. But yeah, to get the arc, there's other ways of doing it too. But that works. The perimeter of the 1 radius arc B with the keyway is, so the perimeter with the keyway (6.52) length. Letter A. The total surface area of the ratchet with 4 slots, the 2 1 diameter holes, and the 1 radius arc with the keyway removed is. So this is a fun tool. Type area, A for add, O for object. Pick the big object, and you see it all turn green. So that means it has the total area of the ratchet, but it asks you to get the slots and the circles and the keyways out. So now that I have it selected, I hit enter, S for subtract, enter, O for object, enter, and then pick the other items, and they're going to turn brownish red to give you a signal that you picked them. Then when you have them all selected, you look at the command line and you can see the total area is 43.16. Letter D. I'll do that again. Area, enter, A, enter, O, enter. Pick the object, enter, S, enter, O, enter. Pick the objects. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I'll move the command line maybe. Better? No, it's like on top of the object, I know. So the absolute coordinate value of the endpoint at C. So what you could do is, that's this point right here. You can use the ID command, ID, and then just find that point and click on it. And then it's 2.01, comma, 5.95, letter C. And the last question, the angle formed in the XY plane from the endpoint at line C. The angle formed in the XY plane from the endpoint at line at C. So I'm going to go on to a different color on the DIMS layer. The endpoint at C is here to the center of the one diameter hole at D, to the center right here. So when they say center, they mean like if you were drawing this by hand, that's where you put the needle of the compass to draw the circle around. I'm at C, the diameter at hole at D. Now, if you pick on this and you have this, the property set up correctly, there's your answer, angle 312. So again, if you don't have that on there yet, you can click on this bar right here, right click, customize, and make sure you have angle checked off. And then hit apply and OK. And what that is asking is basically if you had a line here, and AutoCAD moves counterclockwise. So it's saying traveling around the circle, you went 180 degrees plus whatever this is from here to here. And what that is 132. So 180 plus 132 equals 312. And that is the ratchet. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you soon.